Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 394. We are cruising towards 400 episodes of the Immigration Answer Show. I will be here for the next 60 minutes answering as many immigration law-related questions or life-related questions as I can. I hope you all are doing well. Hope you all had a great weekend. I had a nice trip to Iowa. I've been traveling a lot lately, but I'm glad to be in the studio this week. Glad to be back in St. Louis and glad to be sleeping in my sleep number bed. What do you guys keep your sleep number bed set at? I keep mine set at 100. I like a nice firm mattress. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Let me know what you're doing, what is up in your world, how your weekend was, what immigration issue you're thinking about. Huli will post the link to the waiting room so that you can get in. The waiting room right now is about half full. Remember, if you're in the waiting room and I see you on camera, I'm much more likely to pull you up and answer your question. A couple things before we start off to lead off the show. I need to let some people know a few things. We are so glad that so many people love the Immigration Answer Show and that watch the show or watch our videos. And we're always happy to hear from people at the firm who want to hire us to be their lawyer, or at least thinking about hiring us to be their lawyer. But my team tells me we've been getting a ton of calls from two kinds of people that we can't help. The first one is people who call our office asking us to find them a job. And the emails usually say, "Hi, my name is so-and-so from so-and-so country. I am in so-and-so country, and I really want to come to the United States." There is nothing we can do for you. We do not help people find jobs. We do not help people find spouses. We don't help people find husbands or wives. Our job is, if you have an immigration issue, if you have a legitimate case, then we might be able to help you. If you're going for a student visa, we're not going to get involved in that. We're not going to help with visit visas. But we've been getting a lot of people calling here saying, "I want to get a job in the United States and I want you to help me get a visa." Not what we do. Now, if an employer calls and says, "Hey, I've got an employee in the United States or overseas that I want to help stay in the United States or bring to the United States to work and get a work visa," that's something we can help with. But we're not a placement company. We are not a hiring company. We are a law firm. We help people once they know what benefit they want and have a clear legal path to get it. And I hate to say it, it's actually clogging up our system with the high number of people, especially over the weekends, who call and contact us and say they want us to find them a job. The other category of people that reach out from time to time that we can't help are people who say they want asylum in the United States, but they are not in the United States. You cannot get asylum in the United States if you are not physically in the United States. And while there may be some immigration lawyers, I don't know, there may be some immigration lawyers who might tell you how to get into the United States so as to apply for asylum. We don't do that. We don't tell people how to come to the United States, where to cross, or any of that stuff. We're happy to work on people who have a fear of going back home and want to apply for asylum because they fear persecution back in their home country. But we can't tell you how to get here and then do that. If you're here in the United States and you have a case or you want to file a case, we're happy to help. The last one is I turned down a case. Someone kept emailing me over the weekend with this crazy story about how she came to the United States, married to one person, and now she really wants to stay in the United States, so she wants to divorce the person she came with and marry a U.S. citizen, basically asking me to help her figure out a marriage-based green card case. That is definitely not what we do. We definitely don't help people sort of find a spouse or get a green card based on what may be a marriage generated solely for the purposes of an immigration benefit. Obviously, we handle marriage-based green card and immigrant visa cases all the time, but we do not have the ability or the inclination to help people find a spouse. So that all those things are beyond what we do. What we do is we help people who are going through the immigration process to get the immigration benefits that they want. And if their case gets stuck, to help them with lawsuits. So as of right now, we've filed 1,600 lawsuits for people who have been waiting for a really long time for their immigration benefit. And so if that's the kind of thing that you want our help with, let us know. And when it comes to asylum and lawsuits, I have a video that's sort of old about why people might not be filing lawsuits for asylum cases, but we've been doing these lately. We just had a great result for someone who hired us to beef up to strengthen her asylum case. Then we filed a lawsuit over that. She'd been waiting 5 or 6 years for asylum. My wife Armani handled that interview, and the case just got approved. So we're really happy when that works out. We had another one where we filed a lawsuit for someone and they didn't get asylum. So it doesn't always work out. But if you've been waiting 4 or 5 years for asylum, the lawsuit will get you a decision. We just can't guarantee what that would be. So hopefully that all makes sense. Say hello to Huli in the comments if you can, for everybody who she's not feeling well today. So give her a thumbs up. She sounds like me a little bit. Her voice is very low because she's got a cold. So, and we were all talking about, we're going to have a tropical Hawaiian party here in the St. Louis office next week. And Huli's like, it's wintertime, right? Down here. So they're cold down there in Argentina. So say a little prayer for Huli that hopefully she'll feel better. All right, let's say hi to Denver. Denver, what you got for me?
Hi, Jim. I have this situation here. I went to the interview, N400 interview on the 27th of June. When I got there, I passed everything, the test, everything. But the officer asked me about the addresses because I got here in 2013. So we've been here almost like 29 years. So the officer asked me about my addresses. I couldn't remember I remember all my addresses, but I can't remember which month I moved in there, the dates, all those things. And he sent me the request of evidence. And another situation is
well, let's tackle that one first.
Okay.
How did you get your green card?
DV.
DV. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a marriage case where they're trying to figure out if you were really living with your spouse. Is there an issue related to being outside the United States for a long time or anything?
No, for the past 6 years, I haven't been outside of the United States.
Why do you think that the officer was asking you about your addresses? That's sort of weird.
Yeah, we spent like 1 hour talking about the addresses. I don't know. And on the form, I put like 5 years, the way they ask for 5 years. But he asked me now from the time I entered the United States.
Do you have a common name or a rare name?
My name is Martin, an African name. So,
But has there ever been any crimes that occurred at any of the properties you lived at?
No.
Because if I'm an officer trying to tie someone to an address, I mean, they're generally not going to deny someone their citizenship because their addresses don't jive. And if you got your green card through DV, did you come right away once you got your visa?
Yes, actually, I don't know. Because when I got here, is my ex. I came with my ex. Actually, my ex is the one who won the DV.
So you were the derivative.
Yes.
So here we go. Okay, now, when your spouse got selected in the diversity visa, were you already married or did you get married after that?
We were married because we got married after being selected.
Right. So that's okay. And then what country are you from?
Okay, I'm from the Congo.
Okay. So how long after you got to the United States did you divorce that winner of the DV lottery?
2015.
So the same year?
No, we got here in 2013 and
13.
divorced in 15. And
okay.
Yeah.
And do you know if that person has applied for citizenship?
No. She never applied. But she's a citizen right now because we are not together, but she did apply for citizenship. She's here.
So I'm wondering if they're looking at the addresses that you put in your citizenship case, or that you told the officer, like if they went back beyond the 5 years, that means and you said they got all the way back to 2013 when you first got here. I think they think that your marriage to the winner was just to get you a green card, and that you only got married after she won the lottery. Like maybe they think you paid her to add you to get you a green card, and then once you got here, you lived somewhere other than the address that she put on some kind of forms, or that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, but when I got here, we had kind of domestic. So, and I moved from that address where
What do you mean
we
a
used
domestic? What does it mean a domestic?
the violence, the domestic violence. I got arrested.
You got arrested?
Yes.
Okay, so here I'll ask you the $1 million question, which is, hey, lady who used to be married to Martine, is he a good guy? Was this a real marriage? Should we give him a citizenship? What is she gonna say?
Yeah, she's gonna say yes, it was a good marriage. But this is the situation. So when we arrived here, so we were separated for in 2015. She went to Africa. She got divorced from me in Africa, but we were here already. But she went to Africa, in South Africa. That's where we got married. So she got a divorce degree there in South Africa. She came here. She told me that me and you we have to split ways. Then I said, okay, no problem. So, and then I moved from that address. I got my own apartment. So, and
well, so this is the issue. They think that your marriage was only to get added to the diversity visa case and to get a green card. That's what they think.
That's what they think.
Yeah, dude, that's what they think. That there's no other. I was surprised when you said you got your green card through the diversity visa, because to me, the only reason they're asking about addresses is they're trying to figure out if you're living there with someone that you said you were married to. And while I missed it, that you were the derivative, but that's the fundamental issue. They are looking to see whether or not you married that person back in the Congo or in South Africa just to come to the United States and get citizenship. And they're looking for a way to, because otherwise there's no reason to go back beyond 5 years. Usually addresses, 99% of the time, addresses don't mean anything, but sometimes addresses mean a lot. And so I think that's why they're asking.
Because I was thinking maybe because after she divorced me in South Africa, and then I got married back in my country. I went to my country to get married. So after she divorced me, she was trying to make it up so that we can come back together. And then I said, there is no way we can come back together. So
wait, hold on. This keeps getting worse. Okay. So the person that you married after you got divorced from the DV winner, the person that you married, did you know that person back in the day before 2013?
Yes, because she's from my country. Yes, because my ex was not from my country. That we met in South Africa because we're living there.
Is Congo a diversity visa country, or is it one that's not?
It is. Yes.
Okay, so things are getting more complicated. Did you file for a green card for that spouse?
She's here already.
And when did you apply for her?
In she arrived. Okay, after I got married in 2016, I came the same year. I applied for her, and she arrived here in 2018.
Okay. All right. So I don't have my little law books in front of me, but generally there's a rule that says that if you get a green card based on marriage, and then you divorce that person and then sponsor someone else within 4 years for a green card, that's a problem. Now, generally that's all in the I-130 context. I don't have my law books, so I don't know if it's related to, if it accounts for people that got their green card or immigrant visa through diversity. But if it does, then what they think is you were always in love with the person back in the Congo, that you had a secret relationship with that person in the Congo, that you married this person in South Africa just to be able to come to the United States with her. And then as soon as you sort of settled in the United States, you divorced her and married the true love of your life, who was back in Congo. That's what they think.
She divorced me. I didn't divorce her.
That to them, that's just paperwork. That doesn't, whoever applied for divorce sometimes it's important, but most of the time it's not important because they just view it as somebody who got divorced.
Now, this is the situation. I have two divorce degree. I have two. One from here and one from Africa.
Okay.
So when I apply for N100 N400, I apply with the one in South Africa.
So you listed
So
that date as the divorce.
yes. So now
So let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Did you get divorced in America in the part of the state in which you applied for citizenship?
Yes.
So in other words, if you were living in Missouri, and you don't have to tell me where you live, but if you were living in Missouri, you applied for a green card, or you applied for citizenship in Missouri, and you got divorced in Missouri.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be too hard for an officer to check the court records to see if you got divorced, and to come up with a state divorce, a U.S. divorce that's different date wise than the one that she got in South Africa.
Yes. And on the evidence that they requested, they need that one. I have it. So now my problem is, if I send them this one here, it will be like I was married to two women at the same time. I mean, before I married my
So wait now. Oh, okay. So wait a minute. Now you're saying that ex-wife divorces you in South Africa, you marry, oh Jesus Christ, you marry Congo lady, and then you file for divorce in the United States.
And then she came here. They said no, the one in Africa, if you want to get married, is not valid. You need to divorce here. And then she filed another one here. So it's like she filed one in Africa that was valid, and then they say no, the one in Africa is not valid here. We have to file another one. She filed another one here. So when I was already married in Africa, then she filed another one. So which means it's like, if now they're asking for the one in here in America, I have to submit that one. So if I send them this one, it will be like I was married to two people, to two women at the same time.
So did this not come up when you applied to bring your?
No, it did not come up.
Which divorce decree did you send them?
The one in South Africa.
And then who said that the one in South Africa wasn't valid?
I mean, somebody told her that no, here you have to divorce here. That's what they told her, and then she applied another one. And me also, that's what I believed it was true, but then I know that it's not true. So then we have 2 degrees.
So when you applied to bring, did you do a fiance case for the Congo lady or a spouse case?
No, spouse case.
And so that never came up. So, and when you initially filed, you submitted a divorce decree, the original divorce decree from South Africa.
It never came up.
Well, no, you're telling me you didn't submit any divorce decree, or?
I did. I submit the marriage degree for my ex, and I submitted the divorce degree also for my ex to show them that I'm divorced.
The one from South Africa.
Yes.
The one that was before you married Congo lady.
Correct.
Oh my God, this is a total mess.
So now I have 2. Now they're requesting for this one here now. So if I submit this one, it'll be like,
wait. What did they give you a request?
Yes, I have the request in front of you.
For the American divorce decree?
Yes.
Oh, so they know about the American divorce decree.
No, he did ask me about it, and then I said, okay, he asked me, did you divorce here? I said yes. Okay, you're gonna send me the request.
Did you tell him about the 2 divorces like you just told me?
No, I didn't tell them that.
So what was the question about the divorce at the interview, and what did the officer say, and what did you say?
He didn't ask me about the divorce much. Yeah, he just asked me about, okay, are you married now? Yeah, I say yes. Where's your ex? And I say we divorced. I don't know where she is, and that was about it.
And then after the interview, you got in the mail a request for your American divorce decree, or did it just say divorce decree, or what did it say?
No, he said submit your because I'm in Denver. Your Denver marriage divorce degree from this lady.
So So he knows there's an American divorce decree out there,
Yes, he knows about it.
which means he knows that happened after you.
I got married.
So, okay. So to me, I mean, when was the interview? In June? You said end of June, right?
27, yes.
And you did this all without a lawyer?
Yes, I did without a lawyer.
So to me, the only way you get your citizenship is if that divorce in South Africa was legally valid. And I don't know sitting here whether it was or not, right? But it seems to me that they're getting pretty suspicious based on everything that you've told us here today. So I think there's a lot of work that needs to get done. I think we could help you, but I think the case is in trouble. I'm not saying it's all the way in trouble, but I think what needs to happen is a long statement from you explaining everything you just told me. And I think they're probably going to call you in for another interview because from their point of view, they sort of caught you. You testified at your N400 interview that your divorce was in South Africa. You didn't bring up the American divorce or explain it. Now they're asking you about it. So I think this is like your last chance to really explain it all. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because when I got there, he was asking me a lot of, asked me a question, and then I say, I don't want to talk much because my lawyer said I must not talk much. I have to. He said, hey, do you have a lawyer? I say, yeah, not really a lawyer, but there's a lawyer online that I listen to. And then he said, oh, okay.
Who,
and
me? You mean me?
I just say the lawyer said I must not talk too much because I watch your show. You said don't talk too much. Because before
well, hold on. This is not my fault. I know you're not saying it's my fault.
Yeah.
But this is why people shouldn't just listen to a dipshit lawyer on YouTube and should actually have a lawyer on their case. Because if I were sitting in that interview, I would have said, Denver, tell him the whole story. You only told him half the story. So saying when I say don't talk too much, that's true. But when you're talking about letting something hang out there, I mean, they could really easily say you misrepresented or tried to hide this. I'm not saying that you did, but they could say that you tried to hide this second divorce decree, and then everything sort of unravels from there.
No, when I said that, it was not about the degree because he was asking about, because I got arrested and the case was dismissed. And when I went there, I was thinking maybe it's going to ask me more about the arrest and the dismissal of the case. He just asked me, were you arrested? And I say yes. And
is that for the DV case or something else?
For the DV case, for the domestic violence.
Yeah.
And then the case was dismissed. He just said, okay, so why was the case dismissed? And then I said, because they found out that the lady was lying. That's what was about it. And when he came and called me from the waiting room, he asked me, when we were walking in the corridor to go in his office, he asked me, are you gonna lie to me today? And then I said, no, I'm not gonna. I'm not a liar. I'll tell you the truth. I don't know why he asked me, are you gonna lie to me?
He's on your case, man. He wants to deny this case. You need our help, man.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to. Should I withdraw the case and then refile it? Because
that doesn't solve your problems. You got one shot at this, and it's this case. You have to win right now. When's the deadline for the RFE?
Is on the 30th, end of this month.
He gave you 30 days?
Yes.
Ooh. And for the lady from South Africa, if we were to ask her to sign an affidavit, would she do it, or would she tell us to not?
She's mad at me because I got married, so I don't think she's. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, you have 20 days, so about 3 weeks to work on this. If you wanted our help, I mean, this is going to be a ton of work to try to win this. Problem is, I don't know if just withdrawing it is going to solve the issue because you have an immigrant wife and you're just a green card holder. So there's a lot going on here. If you want to email me the RFE, I'll take a look at it and give you our thoughts. But this is not going to be a cheap proposition. I think you're talking, more than I would charge for a regular naturalization case, because I have to do all this individualized work to try to clean up this mess. This is a huge mess right now. You understand that, right?
It's like, how much do you think it's gonna cost me?
Like $7,500.
7,500.
Yeah, because we got to basically drop everything and we got to get it done in 2.5 weeks. But look at it this way. You've done a lot of this stuff without lawyers, and now it's time to pay the lawyers to clean up the mess, because not only do we have to be worried about whether or not you get your citizenship, we have to be worried about whether they come after your wife and try to take away your green card and deport her because that was an invalid marriage. I mean, you could be charged with polygamy and denied citizenship for being married to two people at the same time. So that's a huge problem, plus the misrepresentation. And then if they decide you weren't legally married, you weren't legally eligible to get married because you weren't properly divorced until the American divorce was finalized, then that $7,500 is actually also to try to help keep your wife here.
So you said I can email you, or
yeah, you can email me that, but do it like right now, because you only have 3 weeks left.
So what do you say I should email you? The request of evidence, or
the request for evidence? And if you have a copy of your N400, send me that too.
The copy of my N100, all the pages.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to do that. So, okay, I'm gonna send it to you.
All right. Thanks, man.
Okay.
See ya. Woo! Don't see that every day. That is why we start with a lawyer, not end with a lawyer. It gets more expensive on the back end. Not at the beginning. Ooh, that was something else. We spent a lot of time on old Denver's case. All right. Muhammad is here. What do you say, Muhammad?
Hey, how you doing, Jim?
I'm good, buddy.
How's everything? So this also regards to my citizenship case. Is not that complicated. So I got interviewed
it'd be hard to be that complicated.
Yeah. It took you like 10, 15 minutes to explain this. Yeah, so I got interviewed in March 20th. And the officer needed some times because, my file is big because I got my green card by the judge. Mm-hmm. I got married after I was in removal. So he needed some times, and I applied under the 3 years rules. Mm-hmm. So in June 28th, my case got updated online, and it said, we placed you online for an oath ceremony. And it was I checked the case history. It was saying recommended for approval in June 15th, and then placed you online for an oath ceremony. Yeah, but I didn't get the actual notice itself. So I'm almost close now to 4 months from the interview. You think like this? My question: you think like this? The case is approved already?
Well, let me ask you a couple questions. Are you changing your name?
He suggested this, our Arabic name, we have a very long middle names. Yeah. So he told me to make the chances of mistakes less. Can I cut like 2 of your middle name and use the first and last and one of the middle? Mm-hmm. So I looked at my lawyer at the time. He said it's okay. If you want to do it, do it. I told him it's not gonna delay anything or stuff. He said, I don't think so. So it's considered a name change. It's still the last name and the first name, but it's considered a name change, and he make me sign for this.
So which field office, Muhammad, will be your?
It's Mount Laurel, New Jersey.
Okay, so that's New Jersey is super busy, and the thing is, when you change your, can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
When you change your name, you have to get naturalized by a federal judge. You don't get naturalized in the field office. Now, I don't know in Mount Laurel if they do administrative naturalizations. I suspect they do because it's so busy there. I don't know. Do you know if people do ceremonies?
They do it every day. But that was my second question. I have to, my ceremony has to be in front of a judge, right? Because the
Right,
name is changed, right?
which is why you might sit in that waiting for an oath ceremony portion longer than most people. I would say if they probably you can probably check the federal court for the District of New Jersey. Like here in St. Louis, they only do judge. They don't do administrative. But we can see their schedule. So maybe look on their website, the court's website, and for the Federal District Court of New Jersey, and see when they're doing ceremonies. I bet they're doing them once every 2 weeks. But I would say if a month or two goes by, I'd give them a little bit longer before suing them. I wouldn't sue. I mean, unless you want to, you could sue them on day 121. But I don't think you need to. I think it's just a matter of Muhammad's changing his name. Mount Laurel, I mean, you have to go to federal court. Now we're just they have to wait for like 40 or 50 people who are all doing name changes or who all need to see a federal judge for some other reason and can't do it administratively. So I think you give them a little bit more time for your case.
So it's for sure it has to be in front of a judge, right? It's not like regular oath ceremony, right?
If you change, my understanding is if you change one letter in your name, I mean, there's two things. One, you have to see the judge, but two, I know this sounds dumb, they have to do a new background check on the new name, which I don't know how you do a background check on somebody who just has a new name, but they have to.
Okay. But if you say in my online update, like place you online for an oath, this means everything is good with the case, right? It's just a matter of time for the oath with the judge, right?
Now, every now and then, that's just BS, and it doesn't really mean that the case has been approved. But you're so close, I would give them a couple other months before spending $5,000 on trying to sue them.
Okay. All right. Okay. And of course, traveling now is not recommended, right? Like it can come in any time, right?
Yeah, and sometimes it's like 10 days notice. So yeah, I would
yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess I'm gonna keep waiting. All right. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Right. You got it. Vino's here. What do you say, Vino?
Hey Jim, how are you?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Sorry about that. So there are two important things that I want to cover in this session. So the first one I want to check regarding need your advice on regarding my mom's N400.
Okay.
So we applied N400 and she had her interview on June 8th. So she does not have English as her second language. So she has challenge communicating. Still, she did her preparation and everything. But the problem with during her interview was like she passed the English vocabulary and stuff, like the reading and writing she passed it, and also she answered correctly for the 6 questions. However, during the second section of that interview where they asked the yes or no questions, so the interviewer was like really like she felt it like he was really rude to her, and the way that he was asking the questions is like my mom, she does not speak like loud and bold, so she always like speaks really calm and stuff. So the first question that he asked was like whether she registered for vote. She said no, and she has never registered for voting or anywhere. And then after he waited for, he had a like very brief pause time, like after like 1 or 2 minutes he was sitting idle, and then again he asked the same question and she said no. And again after like 30 seconds, and he was like in a rough voice he asked like, do you understand the question? And again asked the same question, and he asked whether you have registered for the vote again. So my mom on the third time she said like scaringly no, sorry, yes. So she changed the answer. So after that he stopped the interview and brought back, and I was there in the hall, and he called for me, and he let me know like what happened. So he told that during the interview what happened, and then he said that my mom, she did not answer it like with full confidence on the yes or no questions. So he said that decision cannot be made, and he said after 2 months we'll be contacting you. So just wanted to know what would be the case from here.
So I don't think she'll have to take the test again. I've had this happen a few times. Where people passed the test but got held up for not being able to answer questions confidently. The officer has the discretion. I had a lady once where they were asking the question about harboring illegal aliens or helping people sneak into the United States, and my client's English was probably not very strong either, and she heard the word help and she was thinking about those questions at the end, for the oath, like if there's a war, will you help? If there's a national emergency, will you help? And she said, help, help, yes, yes. And so the officer stopped it. So really, I know it doesn't seem like it, but it's probably better that the officer stopped it, because the officer really could have screwed her and said she registered to vote.
Mhm.
And if you register to vote and you're not a citizen, that's a much bigger issue than not being able to speak English very well. So
Right.
I think it's better. So she's going to have another chance to come in. I don't think she'll have to take the test again. She should study as if she has to take the test again.
Yep. Yep.
But I think all she has to do is answer the rest of the questions.
Got it. Because she prepared for 2 months for this, and then he also got the she also got the letter where it said you passed. Congratulations, you passed the reading, writing, and that one was
Civics,
checked.
yeah.
But she had that decision cannot be made at this moment.
So that's good. So hopefully if when she gets called back in, usually it's around 60 days, depending on how busy the office is.
Okay.
Hopefully that'll be enough to all she has to do is go back and answer the questions,
Okay.
and hopefully good. I had another client once who said, when they asked, would you help in national emergency, she said no. And
Oh,
so we had to go back for that. And I
okay.
don't think she had to take the test again.
Got it. Thank you so much, Jim. And the second one was like, I'm getting my naturalization certificate on Wednesday. I passed the interview
Nice.
on
Nice.
27th. Yeah, and getting my oath ceremony on Wednesday. So I hope you might not be remembering. So I hope we spoke about my wife's case. So she's in India and we have a
Oh yeah.
daughter. Yeah, and I-130 is all approved, and they are waiting for the last stage of interview. So they're on F2A category right now, and the F2A category is not current, and so that's the thing. Like as I am becoming a citizen, I want to upgrade this case to IR1.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know, like, if I will be able to apply for passport for my daughter from here, or whether should I wait for them to come here and then apply for a passport for my daughter.
Well, do we think your daughter is a U.S. citizen?
I don't know
Yeah.
how
No,
to answer.
I don't think she's a U.S. citizen. So right now you have an I-130 for your wife.
Yes, and also I applied I-130 immediately for my daughter.
And is that the one is the daughter's one, is the wife's one all done?
Yeah, wife's is all done and waiting for the interview. Daughter's I-130 is still pending, and in the processing, it says 3 weeks left. I don't think it will take. I mean, like they will do it in 3 weeks, at least 1 or 2 more months to be
Yeah.
get approved. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and what's the priority date for your wife's case and your daughter's case?
So the priority date, we applied I-130 for my wife on July 2021 on 23rd, and we got documentary qualified in January of this year, January
Yeah.
19 of 2023.
Yeah.
I applied I-130 for my daughter back in February 3rd. That's a priority date for my daughter. So still waiting for the I-130 to be approved.
So the I-130 for your daughter is still pending at USCIS.
Yes.
So on the visa bulletin, how far away is your wife's case from being current? Like 14 months?
So so the current priority date is September of 2020. Our priority date is in July 2021.
But then your daughter, so you really need to become a citizen so that your daughter can come.
Right.
Because
So on Wednesday, I'll be a citizen.
otherwise you're going to be I mean, sometimes you need to be worried about becoming a citizen
Yeah.
because that makes you have to file the I-130 for your daughter,
Yes.
which is why you did it.
Yep.
Um, but with the retrogression and everything,
Hmm.
you almost have to become a citizen to get your. I mean, it'll help both their cases, right? By becoming a citizen. Yeah, it'll help both
Yep.
their cases, especially your daughter's, but you're still going to have to wait for your daughter's case to finish up at USCIS and consular process, NVC and all that stuff too.
Okay. So I will not be able to apply after the I-130 is approved. I should not be applying for passport for my daughter, right? So I have to wait for the daughter to come here.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Because she's not a citizen, because she was born before you became a citizen.
Yep.
And I don't have my little chart here, but generally she's not going to qualify.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
So yep, sounds good.
Thanks,
Those are the two
Vino.
questions. Thank you so much, Jim.
See you, buddy. Yep.
Bye.
Christian's here. What do you say, Christian?
Hey, how are you, man?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
You know, last week I tried to call you when I was in South Africa. It was like 12 midnight, but I guess you had callers I guess the time difference kind of messed it up because I was on hold for a while, but I guess you were busy that day. But it was like 12 midnight when I was in South Africa, and it was like 5 o'clock over here. But
well, I was in France too, so it might have been when I was in France.
probably so, yeah. So I just have two questions. So my I-130 was approved, and for the spouse visa, it was sent to the Department of State on June 8th. So my question is, on the letter, it says don't contact them unless 45 days has passed. It's been a month, and I still haven't got a MVC letter, welcome letter, while other people who got approved same time as me got a letter within a few days. Is there a reason why some people might get it quicker than others? And
No, but I'd start reaching out to them now. I think you can go ahead and start bothering them.
all right, yeah, because that's what I was going to ask, because I just didn't want to overstep what the letter said,
No,
45
you're fine.
days. So the next question is, once the USCIS submits all the information to the NBC, like the pictures and chats, do all that also goes to the embassy, everything I sent to USCIS?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they already will have pictures and everything.
Yeah, but your spouse will want to bring updated pictures and stuff. And when you're at the National Visa Center, you sort of have to start all over. You have to pay those fees. You have to file the DS-260, and you have to upload new evidence. So it's good to have extra evidence at each stage. Evidence when you file, evidence at the NVC, and then evidence at the embassy.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so that's all I needed to know.
Thanks, Christian. See you, buddy.
Thanks. All right.
Later. I liked his hat. Somebody had a really good idea. Let me see if I can find it. Famita wants Armani to come on the show for our 400th episode. That sounds good to me. She hasn't been here in a while, so maybe we'll have Sister Armani on the show. That would be fun. I'll talk to her. So that'll probably be 6. So if we do 4 shows this week, that'd be like next Tuesday, probably. I'll check with her. We'll get her on soon, Famita. Don't worry about that. Last time we had Daniel on for episode 300. That was always a lot of fun. All right. We always like to see Daniel. Everyone misses Daniel. So TK's here. What do you say, TK?
Hi, Jim. Hi, Jim. Can I put the camera down?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I had 2 questions. The first one, we were on the show sometime last week, and my green card got approved. I'm trying to file for my wife. And so I wanted to ask, we got an I-20 from a school, and we've applied for a change of status with USCIS. If her visa expires before that is approved, would she be considered in status if we're invited for an interview?
Wait, so what's going on? So what's your status?
Green card, permanent resident.
How did you get your green card?
From asylum.
Okay. So you are in the United States, you got asylum, then you got a green card, and now you're married to someone who came on an F1?
No, she came on a J1.
Okay, is she subject to Rule 212E?
No, she's not.
And so have you applied for her to get a green card?
We have started the process, but not yet done. But we actually started with trying to change of status because her visa expires at the end of August.
Her J1?
Yes.
Okay, well, why? Okay, so have you filed for the change of status?
We well, not officially. We already started the process, still putting together evidence.
Okay, it sounds like you got a little kid there. Is that your little kid?
Yes.
So you guys are probably spending a lot of time taking care of your little kid, but you need to make this a priority. You need to focus on getting her stuff on file. If I were you, I would file the change of status from J1 to F1 in the next week or 2, and then a little while later, before August, whenever her visa runs out, file for that green card.
Oh, okay. I already filed the one for the switching from J1 to F1.
Oh, you did file that already. Okay. Okay. So then now you're just getting your marriage evidence together and everything for the green card, right?
Yes. So my question is, if we do that, if her visa expires before they invite us for an interview, will she still be considered in status while the change of status is pending?
Well, USCIS says that as long as you get the green card application in while she's in status, that's okay. Now, how long of a J1 did she have?
She came in February of 2021. She got a DS 2019 to extend it, and that's what expires in August.
Got it. Okay. So it's not like you got married right after she got here or anything.
No. We got married in January of this year.
Right. So if the change of stat, I mean, arguably the change of status isn't necessary if you file for that green card before her J1 visa expires. But I'm glad you did it. It's always good to have two things covering you. But filing the green card, like, we generally don't tell people to do that, to file the green card and just rest on that. I'm glad you're doing it. The problem is you're not going to find out about the change of status on the F1 until you're like 2/3 of the way through the green card case. Do you follow me?
Yes.
But it's better to have done it. So I'm glad that you did. But for the most part, when you show up at the interview, the officer is just going to check, was she in status at the time they filed for the marriage-based green card? If yes, then that should be the end of it.
Okay, thank you so much. So my other question is this, with regards to working without authorization for us, but if somebody uses someone else's documents to work, is it considered a crime?
Wait, so first of all, hopefully I hope you're talking about some other case, right? Some other people?
Yes, some other case, yes.
So the question is, what's the question now?
Well, so I'm asking because sometime I joined the show and there was this lady who was charged with a felony for using someone's social security. So I wanted to ask, I know people do it a lot where they use someone else's work documents because they are not authorized to work. Is it considered a crime?
Yeah, that's a crime.
It is a crime. So who is committing the crime? The person who's allowing another person use his documents or the person using it?
That's a great question. Luckily, I'm not a criminal defense lawyer, but I would guess probably both.
Both. Okay. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jim.
Thanks, TK. See ya. Oh, Maha's going to be mad at me. She's been telling me I don't clean up my area. So these are my eyeglass washing things. So now I'm in trouble. All right. Let's say hi to Kwame. Hello, Kwame.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Well, I'm fine, Jim. I'm fine. I'm a little bit frustrated, but I understand this is immigration issue, so I need to come. Now, Jim, my question is that we responded to an RFE. Mine is a marriage-based green card. We responded to an RFE in January 7th. We got receipt of notice on January 11th. And so now we've not heard anything from them concerning my EAD. Now, my question is that how long do you think I have to wait for me to maybe inquire about them? Because I watched your video the other time of suing USCIS for EAD cards, and you said it works. But I want to find out if it's too early or I can go ahead and do something about it.
So, what is the date of the receipt notice for the I-130 and the I-765, the 45, all that?
That was September 26th last year.
Wow. And what was the RFE asking for? More marriage evidence or something else?
No, they were asking for more financial evidence, which we responded.
Like for the affidavit of support, you mean?
Yes, sponsorship, financial fund. They were saying my wife don't make enough, but then my wife filed her taxes, and then on that taxes for 2022, it shows that she is okay to sponsor me. So we sent those documents to them. and they acknowledge that they've received it. But since then, we've not heard anything from them again.
So how long was the time between when you received the request for evidence and when you responded?
It was it was almost 3 months because we received the RFE in October, and we responded. We sent our response in January.
So we have to subtract all that time from September. So that's 3 months. So we add 3 months. So that's October, November, December. So you're still waiting 8 months on an EAD. That sounds really strong,
Yeah.
really long time to me. What was your status at the time that you got married and filed for your green card?
I was in Stardust because I came here for B1, B2, and I was supposed to leave in November, but we got married. We submitted our documents in September. So I was in Stardust when we submitted the documents.
So you were asking me a question about suing on the EAD. What did you want to know?
Yes, I want to know whether is it too early if I decide to sue on EAD, or you think I should wait a little bit.
No, they don't fight us on EAD delays. So I would say full steam ahead if you want to.
Okay. That's what I want to know because in my portal now it tells me when we log into our portal, what it tells me is that your case is taking longer than expected, but do not take any action. So we are kind of confused.
Yeah. I think if we sued them, you'd get your work card in about 6 to 8 weeks.
Okay, Jim. Okay.
Thanks, Kwame.
Okay.
All right, see you, bud.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Hey, we got a nice comment from Moo. Hi, everyone. Attorney here from Minnesota. Love the show. Well, great, Moo. If I make any mistakes, let me know. My sister and brother-in-law just drove back. They're driving back right now from Minnesota. And my best friend lives in Minnesota. I will be in Minnesota in 2 weeks. And my third son is going to the University of Minnesota at the end of August. So how about that? He'll be a freshman so big fans of Minnesota. Those of you who might not know this, Minneapolis, Minnesota is the healthiest city in the country. But there you go. So MUO, thanks for watching. Fast track. Can a family member be in the room during the interview for N400? No, generally not. Sometimes they'll let them come in to be a translator, but generally for N400, you're not supposed to have a translator. So there's a lot of bitching and moaning, but usually the family member can't be in the interview during the interview for naturalization. Shota's here. Hello, Shota.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing?
I'm great.
So I'll get a couple questions for you. I would like to know, first of all, what's your expectations about the visa bulletin in terms of F2A? So I got married on 26 May of 2022. Yes. And it's like a year and 2 months that I'm married, and I sent the documents. So my priority date is, yeah.
Go for it. Priority date is, that's what I was going to ask you.
8 of September. So now I was like, I wanted to get a green card or something like that. I have already travel and work authorization, but now I'm in a situation that, I want to get a green card like later after 10 months. And I mean, it's worth like to wait to get like a 10 years green card instead of 2. And I know that, my priority date already. And I know that in visa bulletin, it's already from April. In visa bulletin, there is no progression, and there is just September of 2020. So, what's your expectation about visa bulletin, and what do you think about today's situation?
So let me just be clear. So when you filed for your green card and work card, the priority dates were current, right?
Yes.
And so then when the new fiscal year started, eventually they retrogressed. So you were able to get a work card. You're just now a long way from getting your green card because it jumped back like 3 or 4 years, 2.5 years.
Yes.
And you're asking me, what do I think is going to happen with the visa bulletin in October?
Yes. I mean, what's your
Well,
thoughts about?
there should be a new round of visas available, so I think there'll be a jump. How much of a jump, I don't know, but
Uh-huh.
I think you just have to wait to see in October what happens when the new fiscal year starts.
So in October, okay. I got it. And now I would like to ask you about, I mean, I saw your video about I-130 and I-485 when the I-130 is approved, but not I-485. And, they are, extending the times for some people, and it's not so good, you said. So my I-130 was approved in April, and in March, the visa bulletin was current, but in April, there was already, retrogression. And in this case, I think it's not bad that my I-485 was not approved at the same time, right? Because it was not possible technically.
Yeah, but I suspect in that case. So first of all, you raise a good point. I should have clarified in that video that when I'm talking about I-130 approved but 45 not, I should have clarified that I was talking about with a U.S. citizen petitioner. Not there's a special
No, green card.
circumstance. It's a green card petitioner. I suspect, Shota, that the retrogression had already occurred and all they could approve was the I-130. That's what I think. I think they'd already been notified that the retrogression had occurred and there weren't any visas available left. That's what I think happened for you.
So in October, it's going to be clear what's going to happen about the visibility, if they're going to be jumped or not, right?
Fingers crossed.
Okay, I got it. And in this situation, when the I-130 is approved, is that okay to travel once in a 6 month for like 3 weeks, probably in my home country, to my parents and family, and
Yep.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was what I wanted to ask. And I-130 makes it easy for them, for example, on the border for them to check me, and or it doesn't make any sense if I-130 is approved or not. Got it. Okay, Jim. Thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
Bye, Shota. See you, buddy.
See you.
Poor Shota was this close to getting his green card, but he wasn't able to. Dave is next. What do you say, Dave?
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
Great, buddy. How you doing?
I'm all right. I have a quick question about my son. I hired a lawyer for his N400 interview coming up. Well, actually, he did the biometrics already. He's just waiting for a date for the interview for the N400. And the thing is, when I was on the show before and I asked you about the ticket that he had, and I sent it to the lawyer. The lawyer said they don't really need to show to the immigration or the USCIS, I'm sorry, that he had the ticket because they did a search, they didn't find it. So now I'm thinking if I should think about changing that lawyer. I already paid the lawyer and everything.
Tell me again about the ticket.
He had a speeding ticket last year, 4th of July, and he didn't disclose it to me until after we paid the lawyer and everything and we did the application for the N400.
Does the lawyer do kinds of law other than immigration? Do they do other stuff?
Yes, they do.
So then it says, do you live in a small town or a big city?
Hartford, Connecticut.
So any lawyer who does immigration to a significant degree knows that you have to disclose every ticket, not just the ones that show up. Like that's like really sort of sneaky.
Right.
So that does worry me a little bit.
So if I was to drop that lawyer and take you guys, what would be the cost of me doing that with you guys instead?
It'd be $2,000 plus travel.
Okay, and you guys would send you would prepare him for the exam.
Oh, sure.
Okay, I'll be in contact with Daniel.
Okay, thanks, Dave.
I'll tell him. Thank you so much.
See you, buddy. Yeah, that's something that's sort of basic. You don't ever, with immigration, you don't ever want to take the approach, what can I get? Dave just gave me my good TikTok for tomorrow. It's not just what can I get away with or what will they find, but what's the truth? Not what can I get away with. I like that. Truth, TRUTH. All right, that'll do it for today's show. Dave, thanks for that. Thanks for the call, everybody. Sorry, Matt. Matt's flopping around. He's very upset. Oh, maybe we'll just talk to Matt. Let's see what Matt has to say. You're on mute, Matt. Matt, you're on mute, brother.
I have just news, no question. The news is, remember, Priscilla's over there in South Africa. She got denied for her visit visa. She went on the July 3rd for her second attempt. We prayed and prayed for God to touch the heart of the interviewer. He leaned over. She was the last one before lunch on a Monday.
Oh.
Told her she was approved. He listened. He asked her. He even asked her, "This friend, it's romantic, isn't it?" She said, "Yes, it is." She says, "He says you're probably not going to come back, are you?" He says, "Well, I'll tell you, I just got out of a 36-year marriage. I'm in no hurry to get married." You know, and he says, "Well, I can take." You know what he said? He said, "Well, I've already approved it. So would you like me to disapprove it?" And she says, "No, it's fine."
That's
and he
great.
smiled.
That's great. I mean,
he just had a heart. He had a heart. You know, she got very, very blessed, lucky.
So the prayers worked. I'm glad about that.
Yes,
I will say that I know I won a deportation case once because the judge and the attorney wanted to go eat lunch. So there's something to be said to being the last interview before lunch. I think I made a video about this, but if not, I didn't. Well, that's great, Matt. Thanks for the update. I'm glad you waved me down.
Yes, hey, we're gonna be calling you, Jim, in a couple months.
Maybe because you're not entirely sure you're going to get married.
Well, we might. Yes, no. You know, just to say hello or something.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, Matt. See you, buddy.
I'll see you, Jim.
Later. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. Now, tomorrow, Noor has softball practice at 5:30 Central Time, so I will be going live at 5:30 Central from the softball fields. I will see you all tomorrow, 5:30 p.m. Central Time, so a little bit later. That'll be episode 395. We are trucking along to episode 400, and I will say right now we will have at least one special guest, if not a few. All right, everybody, have a great night.